Welcome, absolute value, equations and inequalities. Before studying equations and inequalities, I want to ask some question. And what is an absolute value? Absolute value, if you remember, it's a distance from 0 and the number. Such as what is the absolute value of 5? So when I ask you absolute value of 5, you can say it's 5. And absolute value of -5, it's equal 5. Why? Both of them has a distance from the 0, it's 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get here 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get here -5. So absolute value of -5 and 5 both is 5. Let's clean that part. Now I have a question for you. If I ask you a number, the absolute value of a number, it's equal 5. So what will you think? So I have a number, it's 5 units far away from the 0. I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can say x is equal 5. Or let's go the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can say x is equal -5. So all the ideas comes here now. If we are looking an absolute value, actually we are looking a number, how it's far away from 0. If it's 5 units far away, it can be 5, or the other side, it can be -5. So that's the whole point of the absolute value equations. We are searching about a distance. We are checking the distance from the 0. So the first example is again 5. So I can say x is equal 5 or x is equal -5. This is the first. What about x plus 1? Okay, on that example, x plus 1 inside the absolute value, and this x plus 1 is equal to 5. So it's 5 units far away from the 0. X plus 1 is 5 units far away from the 0. So I can say that x plus 1 is equal to 5, or x plus 1 is equal to -5. So 5 units far away from 0, same idea. And now we have an equation. There is no absolute value left because I find what numbers are far away from the 0. So I find some things here. X is equal 4. If you remember, there's a -1 to solve this equation. This will be 0 on the axis here. 5 minus 1, 4. So x equal 4. Or by the other way, -1 minus 5. X is equal -6. So my solution is x equal 4 or x is equal to -6. There are two solutions. Let's check. X plus 1 equal 5 is when substitute x is here. So let's substitute x. 4 plus 1, it's equal 5, and absolute value 5 equal 5. Let's write a -6. -6 plus 1, it's equal -5, and it's equal 5. As you see, both -6 and 4 has the absolute value of 5 when you substitute instead of x. Start. On this question, as you see, there is an absolute value, x plus 1. And less than 2 of this absolute value is equal 6. So to calculate that one, absolute value of x plus 1 minus 2 equals 6. So there's a less than 2. If I put here more to both sides, equation will not broken, so that still will be equal to the right side and the left side of the equation. But -2 plus 2 will be 0. I will get only here x plus 1, and it will equal 8. 6 plus 2 is 8. So I can solve this equation because now absolute value of expression is equal to 8. So because this distance from 0, it can be 8 or -8. So it can be 8, or x plus 1, it can be -8. X is equal -1, so on the x is here. 8 minus 1 is 7. I want to do these steps mentally. So -1 is 0. So x, 8, -8 minus 1 will be -9. So x can be equal 7, or x can be equal -9. So let's keep this solution here. Now let's continue next example. Same idea. Now after then, if you get the point here, I'm looking for value of the absolute value first, I need to cancel all constant numbers around it, or the coefficient, we can call it coefficient of the absolute value. So minus 3 minus 3, 2 times x plus 1, it's equal 8. Divided by 2, divided by 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. Now I'm going to get only 1, x plus 1, absolute value of x plus 1 equal 4. So let's continue. X plus 1 equal 4, or x plus 1 equal negative 4. So minus 1, x is equal 3, or x is equal minus 5, same idea. That's the absolute value of equation. Of course, inside the algebraic expressions, I will write x plus 1 to make it clear what is going on here. We don't touch x inside the absolute value, the expressions inside the absolute value. First, we solve around it, the numbers around it, or coefficient of around it. Then we start to solve when we get the absolute value equal something. We start to solve absolute value on this step. Here, as you see, I get absolute value is equal 8. After then, we separated negative and positive of the value. Then we solve the equation. Let's continue some special cases. These are very important. Don't forget, absolute value it shows us a distance from the 0. So it cannot be negative anytime. So there is no solution. Why? Negative 3, it's a direction of the left side only show. But when we calculate the distance, we all time get a positive result. The reason of the absolute value is positive because it's calculate the distance from 0 and the number, and the distance cannot be negative. So when we get an absolute value inside an algebraic expression and it's equal negative number, negative 5 or negative 7 or negative 8, any negative number, so we cannot solve it because it's not a distance, no solution. There is no solution of this equation. Let's solve an example here, another example. Minus 5, minus 5. Okay. 3 times 2x minus 1, it's equal 6. Here, it's a no solution. No, it's a positive number. Let's divide by 3, divided by 3. 3 divided by 3. So 2x minus 1, it's equal to... yeah, we can solve that one. Because it's equal to, so it can 2x minus 1 equal 2, or 2x minus 1 equal negative 2. 2x equal 3, x equal 3 over 2. Or plus 1, 2x equal negative 1, x equal minus 1 over 2. So in that case, that's not a special case because we can solve this equation. Another special case is it's equal to 0. When it's equal to 0, so 0 doesn't have a negative or positive sign. It only can be 0. If the absolute value is equal to 0, that means inside of it is equal to 0. Only 0 itself has a distance of 0 from itself. A complicated situation. Okay, x plus 2 equals 0. So that means x equal negative 2. We can only get x equal negative 2 to get this 0. Here, 2, let's say minus 3, 2 times x plus 2 equals 0. Again, x plus 2 equals 0. Same idea, x can be only negative 2. So when you get equal to, that means inside the absolute value must be 2. The algebraic expression inside the absolute value must be equal to 0. That's the end of this video. Now on the next video I will talk about absolute value inequalities. Thanks for watching.